Oh, hey friends, caught me driving. Little Benny King. Yeah. We'll pause that for a bit. Hey, driving, doing my thing. Just got some holy donuts. But we're here for you and your morning boost about entertaining angels unaware. I think that's something Paul said. I think there's a passage about that. But the point of it all is that when you're entertained, the whole concept that I've come to understand about it is that, for instance, like Jesus says that the rain falls upon the just and the unjust. I think it's what is it, Isaiah or like Psalms or something to that effect, about one of those books in the Bible about how God gives grace to the unworthy and He also gives grace to those who pretty much are unkind. He gives grace to everyone. Not that we're not deserving of it, because I've already explained that in another video. But that He's not all caught up in, oh, you have to do X, Y, and Z for me, and then I'll love you kind of thing. You've got to explicitly say that you're a Christian and do these these Christian rituals and creeds and things like that. I think this harps back to what it means to really be a Christian. Because like in James, for instance, it talks about, the peacekeepers, the people who give peace and love and forgiveness and things like that. And that's kind of one of those things where you don't even necessarily need to, like, as crazy as it sounds, you don't even need to necessarily believe in God to experience the benefits of what He's about. And what's more is to be able to then express Him. Because if you're loving, man. If you're loving, especially, really, you can only love if you don't attack. But sometimes we create this sort of, there's this sort of love that we can have where we're trying to get something in return, get something out of it. And so, which is a mistaken sense of what love is. But when it comes to this whole notion of it all, I think people it's a great disservice we do to ourselves, that we've done as a Christian nation. I think it helps. It helps having that compass, obviously, and the end goal is to know God. But while we're in this world, even if you don't know the man, if you don't know Christ, if you don't know God necessarily, if you don't even believe in Him, that doesn't mean you still can't be loving, you still can't be peaceable. And when you are being peaceable in that moment, giving peace, offering peace in the name of it without asking anything in return, then are you not then expressing that? And I don't think it's a case of God's like, thanks for the good, I'm still sending you to hell, sucker, because you didn't like, that's so weird, man. If you really think about it, that makes God this like, kind of like, abuser and user and manipulator. Like, I can get what I get out of these people, but then I'm still gonna condemn them to hell for all eternity. Come on now, people. Does that even sound like our ever loving, ever merciful, like, God that we preach and proclaim in the churches? I don't think so. I think we gotta really be willing to take a deeper look at what that all means. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. But yeah, I feel like we get so caught up in all these rituals and rites and things like that we fail to get to the heart of it all. Because that's the thing. I feel like it makes it so much easier too, to be able to just to give that love, Because here's the thing. By their fruits they will know you. So what if someone saw you doing those loving things, and then you asked, is this person a Christian or an atheist, for instance? And they don't know either one, but you told them these things that you have been doing and this manner in which you've been regarding your brother. Well, they might say, oh, he's a Christian. Oh, okay. Well, what if he isn't? Then suddenly does that, like, discredit all the good that he suddenly did? And if, for instance, let's just say, for an example, as an analogy, if someone is in a city and they have amnesia, they forget who they are they suddenly not in that city anymore? Now the parallel that I'm making to all this is that even if someone is mistaken in who they are through the lies of the world, the devil, whatever you want to call it, does that somehow change his true identity as being in the kingdom of heaven? Just because you forgot that you're there doesn't mean that you're still not there. Even if you make such a forceful, explicit, outward proclamation that, God isn't real and all this stuff. Okay, whatever, man. All I care about at the end of the day is what you're doing, how you're regarding your brother. If for whatever reason you don't feel the need to believe in God, but you can still be forgiving and all that stuff, and this isn't to discredit or to say I'm not listening to what you're saying necessarily, but it's in a sense you're believing in God. I'm not trying to turn the atheist into a Christian if they still feel adamant about I don't want to have you try to undercut what I'm trying to say, because you gotta respect people's beliefs and things like that. But for us who know, as people who have come to know Christ, when they're doing that, in a sense they're knowing God, even if they don't call him by name. A rose is still a rose by any other name, as Shakespeare says it. So regardless if you call him whatever you may call God, or if you don't even call him anything at all, God doesn't care about that as much, because he doesn't care about it because he's egoless. He doesn't have an ego for which to care about those little things. We care about that stuff because we're still caught up in the ego dynamic. But when we release that, we're able to just experience the full fruits of what God's about. And so it makes it a little bit easier. And it also kind of, I think, can encourage us and also change our perspective on how we should go about our relationship with Christ, because it's all about these ways we relate to our brother, be it either of guilt, fear, hatred, or forgiveness, peace, and love. Those are the real fruits of God. And that's how you can know if someone is abiding in Christ. Not necessarily by the labels that they hold, but by the manner in which they love their brother. But that's what I got for you. A little action-packed morning boost, rolling in the car, in that movement of thought and spirit. And I hope this has done you some good. And from here at the Wolfpack, you better believe we wish you well and Godspeed. On that, I'm glad I didn't get in a wreck. Here we go.